Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be working on a new weekend project. Over here, you see this hard case, and as you can see, there are 3 magazines here. These are not magazines of a real firearm, they are for a Nerf blaster. And inside the case contains an AEB, which stands for Automatic Electric Blaster, which is a semi-automatic Nerf blaster, which I will show you guys. Now here's how the Nerf blaster looks like, and I know it looks like a real firearm. So we definitely need to paint it to brighter colors to make it more community friendly. Now that was scary. I just primed the blaster and went nuts and started to slam fire 3 times consecutively. The first suspect I had in mind was the battery. So here's the LiPo pack. And I read online that the battery doesn't have enough mAh or current. So I'm going to try to replace this battery with a bigger one. Unfortunately, the blaster doesn't use standard connectors for the LiPo battery. It uses these terminals, and this battery is proprietary. So let me try to charge this battery and see whether it works. Well, thankfully the blaster works after a full charge of the battery. I removed the LiPo battery from the proprietary battery case, and this is how it looks like. It's a really small 350 mAh LiPo 3 cell. I realized that when the battery runs low, the blaster will run into the same issue of that scary slam fire. So I need to replace the battery with a higher capacity one. While I was removing the battery from the case, I realized that I could solder wires directly to the terminals inside, and this is what I came up with. This is an XD connector, micro XD, and this way I will be able to hook up my own higher capacity battery, and this still plugs to the blaster over here. Now let me show you the next issue of this second-hand blaster. As you can see from the video's comparison, my blaster doesn't slide lock when the magazine is empty, so we need to fix that. Now in this shot you can see that I've removed the slide assembly group from the main part of the blaster. This is done by hammering out the pins here. There's one here and there's another pin here, which I have removed. To access to this pin, you need to extend the buttstock. Otherwise you can't see this hole, as it's concealed by this piece of metal. Yep. The previous owner of this blaster did a good job at the weathering, making the blaster looks kind of rugged and nice. So I think I'm going to preserve the paint job of the bottom part of the blaster. It's a rather light color, so it's fine. As for the black, I need to do something about that, and here you can see I have masked up the entire exposed parts, and the screws are for me to hold while I'm spraying the paint on the piece here. Ta-da! The paint job is done, and this is how the bright orange slide assembly looks like. It looks pretty good, and it's bright enough to make the blaster look like a community friendly blaster. Now let's look into the slide lock issue. Now this metal tab here is for the slide lock release. So normally it will be in the top position, and you will have to press it down for the slide to be released from the lock position. This entire lever consists of 2 other tabs on the inside, which is used for engaging the slide. Now when there's the dart in the magazine, this plastic piece will be depressed. However, when the magazine is empty, this plastic will rise up, and it actually lifts up the lever via this tab here. The other tab will be for catching the slide lock, to lock it in place. At this juncture, we can conclude that there's nothing wrong with the slide catch lever mechanism. I then found out that the issue of the slide lock lies with this part here. Notice that there's a recession here for the catch to engage. And over here you can see that I've applied metal epoxy. Basically what happens is the pin, there's a metal pin here to prevent wear and tear of the plastic, and that metal pin has dropped out. By putting back the metal pin and filling up the gaps with epoxy, hopefully this will solve the problem. Alright, the blaster is all done up, and this is how it looks like with the LiPo strapped to the front grip handle. I try to keep the wiring as neat as possible and it doesn't look that bad. Now let's see whether the slide lock works. I have a magazine here loaded with one single dart. Let me fit it in the blaster and then fire it off. Alright, here's the moment of truth that we have been waiting for. Oh, it works. Now we have the slide open on empty magazine. It's a good practice to decompress the spring, so I'm going to squeeze off the trigger. Oh wait, I need to power off the blaster first, because the blaster will prime itself after it's shot. Let's try some semi-automatic firing on this blaster to make sure that the issues are all resolved. That was so satisfying. Now that the blaster is functioning well, let's do a chrono test on it. 122 feet per second. Well, the name of this blaster is QWKH if you're interested. The chrono test shows that it's a bit lackluster in performance because the specs online say that it's about 140 feet per second or something like that. Anyway, I'm happy that I managed to fix most of the issues on this Nerf blaster and it now works very well. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoy it and I will see you in the next one.